Quick story. A client of mine had been out of work for almost 3 years. She took time off for the family, and when she tried re-entering the job market, recruiters ghosted her again and again and again. She thought her career was over, but once we reaffirmed her gap into a strategic pause and used the right words, she landed multiple interviews and an offer within 5 weeks. That's the power of answering the gap question correctly. And today, I'll give you the exact playbook. For those who don't know me, I am Saadi Abbas. I have worked with recruiters, hiring managers, and job seekers for over 40 years. And I can tell you this: a CV gap does not kill your career. The problem is how you explain it. In this video, I'll show you step by step how to frame your break, what to say during the interview, and the pitfalls to definitely avoid. Step 1. Reframe the gap as something positive. It's not a gap year, it's a strategic pause. If you took a year off, but during that time completed a certification as an example, project management, then instead of saying I was unemployed, say I invested the year in upskilling, which directly applies to this role. Employers fear weakness, so flip the narrative. Show growth, show strength. Use this formula. I prioritized family, my health or somebody health in the family, personal growth, whatever. So just keep it simple. And now I am re-entering with renewed focus. During that time, I did this course, I did this project, I volunteered in something, I did whatever. So just make it as though you were busy doing something as well, not just taking a break for 1 year. Step 2, be honest, be brief, don't over-explain, less is more. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, I interviewed 2 candidates back to back. Both had gaps in their resumes. Candidate 1 went on and on about how toxic his boss was, how the office politics were ruined everything. Means he had his health was suffering and everything. How they needed to take time off so he can recover from all the toxic environment, and then how the pandemic made everything worse. 5 minutes later, the whole panel stopped listening. Candidate 2 had a completely different approach. He looked me straight in the eye and said, I took a year to care for my sick mother, but I stayed engaged through freelancing projects. That is it. One sentence. He then pivoted back to talking about his skills. Guess who got the call back? Candidate 2, of course. The lesson here is simple. Clarity wins trust. Excuses loses it. As a recruiter, when I ask about a gap, I am not judging you for having one. I am testing how you respond under pressure. Do you spiral into defensiveness, or do you show confidence and control? Here is a rule of thumb, basically. Keep your answer to 1 or 2 sentences, that's it. Then pivot back to your skills. For example, I took time off for personal reasons, but I stayed connected to my field by completing a certification course or whatever. Now I am ready to apply those skills in a full-time role. Short, professional, future focused. Now you might be wondering, okay, I kept it short, but what if they still see the gap as wasted time? That's where step 3 comes in, okay, showing that your gap was actually filled with growth. Step 3, highlight what you did during the gap. A gap year filled with growth isn't a gap. This is where most job seekers go wrong. They say, I wasn't working, but that's really true. Almost everyone does something during a career break. They just don't frame it well. That's the problem. Let me give you a few examples from real candidates I've seen. Freelance consulting. One candidate told me I helped 3 startups improve their marketing funnels. Immediately, that gap turned into proof of initiative. Upskilling, another said, I completed a cloud certification to stay current with tech trends. That showed me they have experience. Volunteering, someone else shared, I led a nonprofit fundraising project that sharpened my leadership skills. That's valuable experience. The common thread: frame career breaks as an active investment, not idle time. So here is the practical move. Add a mini career break section on your resume. Yes, put it right there. Under it, list certifications, projects, volunteer roles, anything that shows you stayed active. Because when I, as a recruiter, see a career break from 2022 to 2023, completed AWS certification, volunteered as fundraising coordinator, I don't think unemployed. I think proactive, resilient, resourceful. But here is the trick. You can't just stop at what you did during the gap. The real magic is in pivoting the conversation back to what you can do now, and that's exactly what step 4 is about. Step 4, redirect your strength. Don't dwell on the past. Pivot to the value you bring to the organization today, now. Okay, this step is about shifting the interviewer's mindset. Remember, their hidden worry is, are you out of practice? You need to calm that fear by proving relevance. Here is a script you can use. While I was away from formal work, I developed strong crisis management skills as a parent. That's why I'm excited to bring calm problem solving into this customer-facing role. See what happened. The break became the reason you are stronger today. Another example, during my break, I freelanced with small businesses. That experience taught me how to deliver results with limited resources, something I know will benefit your team. This works because you are not stuck defending the gap, you are using it as a bridge to your strengths. And here is my golden rule for explaining career gaps in interviews. Never just stop at why the gap happened, always end with this line. And that's why I am excited to bring a specific skill, describe a skill into this role. It flips the focus from your past to your value today. Forward-looking answers make you memorable. Now, not all gaps are voluntary. Sometimes it's layoffs, sometimes it's being fired, and those are the toughest conversations. But trust me, if you handle them with confidence, you can actually come out stronger. Let's move to step 5. Step 5 addresses layoffs or firing with confidence. Confidence kills awkwardness. Let's start with layoffs. They happen all the time. Restructuring, mergers, cost cutting, whatever. It's rarely personal, but if you stumble when explaining it, it looks like you are hiding something. Here is how to say it properly without any problems. My company restructured, but it gave me time to upskill in data analytics. I am excited to bring those new skills to my next role. Short, honest, future focused. Now, for the tougher one, firing. Many candidates panic here. They over-explain, defend, or worse, blame their boss. Big mistake. Here is a better script. Now, it wasn't the right fit, but I have since trained in project management and clarified my career goals. That's it. No drama, no blame. You show accountability, growth, and readiness. Because here's the truth. I've hired people who were fired before. The firing wasn't the issue. It was how they handled it in the interview. Now, before I wrap this up, let's talk about the landmines you need to avoid, because even the best prepared candidates can ruin their chances with just one phrase. Okay, and of course it is the wrong phrase. Things to avoid: never say just needed a break. Instead, say I invested time in learning X, Y, Z, whatever. Never give long excuses. Keep it short, 1 or 2 sentences short. Never blame bosses or colleagues. Reframe as career growth. Remember, the interviewer doesn't need your life story. They need a confident, professional, and forward-looking answer. So, let's recap everything. Step 1. Reframe the gap as a positive thing, not a negative thing. Step 2. Be honest, be brief. Clarity builds trust. That's the most important thing. So always be very clear and be honest. Step 3. Highlight what you did during the gap. Show growth. Show you did something, not just sat there doing nothing. Step 4. Redirect your strengths. Pivot to the present after you talk about the gap itself, right? Step 5. Handle layoffs and firings with confidence. Don't blame anyone, just show growth. Now, avoid the traps. Don't ramble, don't blame anyone, and of course, I don't want to see any excuses. Recruiters don't fear gaps, they fear uncertainty. If you can reframe your gap, keep your answer short, highlight growth, pivot to strength, and handle sensitive cases with confidence, you'll stand out as the 1% who turn career breaks into career accelerators. Next time they ask you why the gap, you won't panic, you will smile, deliver your one-liner, and steer the conversation back to your strengths. If this video helped you, do 3 things. Hit the like button if you've ever worried about explaining a career gap. Comment below with your reason for a career break, and I'll personally help you frame it in the best way. Subscribe for more recruiter-backed strategies that 99% of job seekers ignore. Because remember, it's not the gap that defines you, it's the way you frame it. And of course, see you in the next video. Thank you.